Have you ever heard about the 3-second rules?
It doesn't work that way. Bro, it doesn't work. It never happened to my mom or my wife when they are changing the diaper. It only happens to me.
Okay, so after this episode release, I think I need to sleep on the couch. My wife is gonna find this out.
Guys, we just tend to want to, on the spot solve it, go back to sleep. But yeah, that's not the right approach. It takes a while for us to change mentally.
Yeah. Ooh. Is it okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Woohoo!
Brand new equipment.
Boys. Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, welcome back. What episode is this? 5? 4?
No, this is 5, brother.
5, right. We're already in our 5th episode.
You have lost track of time after being a dad.
Trust me, I have lost track of the day and night, let alone the day. The date.
I think time probably passes and zoom past like F1 cars, just
right. Yeah, you have no idea. 1 month flew by like a blink of an eye, right? Suppose one month of paternity leave, and then now it's like my last week already.
Oh, this is your last week of paternity leave. Means you're coming back to work next week in office or work from home?
Office. So I start work again on Thursday.
Nice. So, I can finally meet you for lunch again. And for everyone's information, CK's office is just right opposite my office. And from my office window, I can see his building.
Yes.
I shall not disclose where he is currently employed at, but yeah, it's a pretty nice place.
Soon.
Yeah, I think so. Today, I think we want to discuss a little bit of topics on epic dad fails. CK being a dad for close to a month. There must be a lot of fun experience to laugh at, mistakes, and learnings as well, I would say. Yeah, and
day one already epic dad fail.
I think every parent would definitely have their fail moments, and it's not just to laugh at this moment and think that it's nothing, but I think it's something to learn from. And there's a reason why it's memorable, right? It's because it's funny, and you think that it's like, hey, there's something that we can learn, and it's meant to laugh at as well.
I'll tell you why I say save money later.
I can't wait to hear that. I think it's important to really laugh at our own mistakes and at the same time acknowledge it, because that is very important. Yeah.
I mean, everybody starts off their parenting journey differently, right? So
definitely,
it's a learning journey. So you have to make the mistakes, then you learn how to better do something.
So how's the baby? How's your wife? I met both of them just earlier this week when I popped by.
Oh yeah, yes you did. And it was to deliver this very brand new podcast equipment that we are using right now. So wife is doing good. 80% recovered since the last time. I think last time I mentioned 80%. So
yeah,
about there.
Is she able to walk now?
She has always been able to walk, just walk with less pain now. So
okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and the bleeding has more or less subsided. Used to be heavy, very heavy flow. Now is still there, but less thick. Can do more things on her own really without assistance. So I mean that's good, right? So it frees up more time for me to help with the baby, take care of the baby, stuff like that.
I think pretty soon you guys can start to head out to the malls, visit and be out there. Why not?
I tried bringing her out once, and that was the first pediatrician visit. And the amount of things you have to prepare. The bag itself, you have to make sure it's fully stocked, right? I can't imagine how I would bring her out alone. And
trust me, it's always for the firstborn, right? Where you have the so-called the baby bag, right? You're gonna pack so many things. It's like going for a war, like wearing your army vest, everything, right? That feeling. I think that's pretty normal for a firstborn, but when my second child came about, the amount of things we pack in the bag is it's strings.
Oh, so you can just leave the house with stuff in your pocket.
No, a sling bag minimally.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I still remember my first pediatrician visit. Milk bottles, diapers, wet tissue. Yeah.
The warmer for the milk as well, right?
Yes, the warmer, the small little bag warmer. I mean, the bag comes with a warmer. Then there has another pouch, for the warm
Mm,
water flask for the warm
mm.
warm water.
But because you are feeding express breast milk, so you need to heat up the breast milk before you can feed your child. So how does that
Mm,
work for you?
if we go out, I think the most
Mm.
practical thing to do would be milk powder, right?
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Mm,
practical, easy and practical.
yeah. How do you bring express milk out? I mean, there are
Uh,
solutions where you turn it into milk powder, right? But that's no.
no, we just put it. So what we did back then is that espresso is just poured directly into the milk bottle. So we literally bring
Mm,
the milk bottle out, put it in a cooler bag. Then we have another flask of hot water. Typically we just put it there. So that's for our firstborn. But when my second child came about, right, technology has advanced. There is this particular thing where there is an induction heater. You just need to
mm,
screw it to the milk bottle, turn it upside down, and press the button. Magic. Within 5 minutes, your the breast milk will be heated to a perfect
mm.
temperature that the baby love. Yeah, and that is
Wow.
very, very good.
I'll stick to powder. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
good.
what.
So
Yeah.
CK share with us, your humorous stories of that
Ah,
feels because you say that from day one, you have experienced that feel.
yes, I think I recall it was my very first time changing my daughter's diapers, and it
Mm-hmm.
was in the middle of the night. So I
Yeah.
think 2-3 a.m. No, I think it was 4 a.m. Uh,
You clearly lost track of time.
I have no idea what time is it now. So it was the very first time, very first night she's at home.
Okay.
So I started hearing bowel movement sounds. So I,
Mm.
I I knew she's passing motion, right? I went
Mm-hmm.
in. She's in the cot, right? Fresh
Okay,
linen,
yeah.
brand new mattress, brand new cot, right? Brand new blanket, brand new clothing, all on her. Okay, I emphasize
Yeah.
brand new because very soon it's gonna become sold and used. Once I opened up the diaper, right? So obviously there's poop and pee
Mm-hmm.
all over diaper, right? So yeah, you watch people change diaper. Okay, get a wet tissue, you start wiping, cleaning everything, right? Oh, second round came. So I thought safe, it's still on the diaper. I said, wow, thank goodness I have not removed the diaper, right? So okay, never mind. I'll clean. Then okay, everything is done up ready. I removed the diaper and reached out for a brand new one. Third
Mm-hmm.
round, third
Yeah.
round onto the fresh, clean linen,
Oh
soaked all
my
the way through,
goodness.
and in onto the
Oh.
mattress comforter. And I think because the comforter was a bit thick, so it did not reach the sponge itself. But
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Then and yeah. So I thought, okay, it's okay. I will reposition the baby to a cleaner spot. Let me just clean her up and put a diaper on, right? The moment
Yeah.
I lifted her to move into the new spot, fourth. Yeah. And there goes the entire mattress. It's all so at that point in time, I was like, okay, I got to save the mattress, right? At least save the sponge. So
Yeah.
I put up the linen, I helped my baby, and I started screaming for help. So my wife had to my wife had to get up.
4 a.m. 4 a.m. You're screaming for help.
my mom heard me and she got up, and yeah, it took the three of us to get everything back in order. We had to, flip the mattress the other side just for the night so that she could sleep again. And
There goes a saying, right? It takes a village to raise a child.
yeah, first night. So in my heart, I was like, oh, everything is brand new. This is her first night, and already she broke into it.
So,
So
do you have like a spare mattress, linen, everything?
I mean, linen, yes, but the mattress is it's one. We just have one. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think you buy two mattresses, right?
No, I
For the
don't.
cot. Yeah.
But
So
because typically below the linen we'll put like a waterproof cover to prevent.
yes. So that's the thing I did not do. So now I am smarter already. I've learned
Oh
from my
dear.
mistake. I will now put the absorbent mat. Typically hospitals use it, right, to absorb blood or
Yeah.
fluids. So now it's under the mattress, or at least I place it where the baby sleeps. But it's not enough. So yeah, I thought I learned my lesson, right? And honestly, I don't know why it keeps happening to me. It never happened to my mom or my wife when they are changing the diaper. It only happens to me. So second time I tried. So I think this was like what 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I was there. She passed motion, so I had to change her diaper. So this time I will leave the diaper there when I reach for a new fresh pair of diaper, right?
Yeah.
So I left it there. When I started to remove it, so typically you would hold the baby by the ankles, right? So to sort of lift the bum up to remove the diaper. So their legs do not flail. So I held it maybe a bit too high. As 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 so normally I don't remove the diaper now, right? I just press the diaper underneath her. So the outside is still relatively clean, right? So I'll just press it beneath her and let her body weight hold onto the diaper as a fresh new pair. So anything that comes out, at least the diaper is still there to catch it. But
Definitely.
but I think I held the ankles slightly too high. As I fetched the fresh pair of diapers, she made another poop. And this time, because I held her ankles too high, the poop made a projectile motion.
Towards
So,
you?
so I was standing by the side, right? This was in the cot. So I was by the side of the cot. It flew beyond the absorbent mat onto the fresh linen. I was like, oh my goodness. I thought I learned my lesson, but no. She proved me wrong. One net is not enough. You need two. So this time round, I put two. And if I can help it, I will put a third one sort of like, incline furthest away so that it will catch anything that so happens to fly that far away. And that is just diaper changing.
Wow. I mean, there will be a lot of stories from many new parents on diaper changing incidences that are so hilarious. And I think if you recall our last episode, I talked about Pupnami, and I'm not sure whether you have started searching online what does Pupnami means, but yeah, I mean, those are very common thing that once infant reach a certain age, you will definitely experience Pupnami once, and the entire infant period where the child is growing, the baby is growing. Yeah, and that would be very memorable because but lucky for you, you're standing at the side, so you probably wouldn't experience it. Yeah.
Oh, well, my hands experienced it.
Yeah, I'm used to it already. Yeah, sometimes it gets stuck in between my fingernails, and so I was like, oh, no wonder I can smell poop. But
Yeah. So, yep, diaper changing, learning every day. The number of diapers I have to use.
What is the average diaper you're using each day? I estimate probably like 8.
One a feet? No.
No,
Sometimes the maximum number of diapers I have changed per feet is 4.
4 per feet. My goodness, 4 per feet.
Okay, I this could be due to my inexperience, right? So normally when the baby does its thing, you try to let the baby rest for a while and finish whatever she is doing before you change the diaper. So
Yeah.
as a new parent, you'll be like quite anxious and say, "Oh, the baby is pooping, the baby is peeing. I hear sounds, right? Gotta keep her clean, you know." So
Yeah.
immediately you change the diaper. So once I do that, second round comes. Then okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. I just give you a fresh. It's just a fresh pair of diapers, right? It's fine. It caught everything. At least it's better than being on the bed. So okay, you wait for a bit more now. You change. Third one goes in, poop again. I'm like, okay. So change fourth pair of diaper, everything goes back to normal. So the maximum I've changed per feet is 4.
Oh my. That it's like every time you change, you're counting how much it costs, like $1 for a piece, and there
20
goes
cents.
$1. 20
20
cents. I
cents.
mean,
20 cents. Yeah. Ah, so yeah, lesson learned, right? Let your baby do its thing, his or her thing for I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, or even if she does pass motion,
mhm.
uh, just change before the next feed. Maybe in 2 or 3 hours, right? Because diapers they are very good in absorbing moisture.
It
You
depends on the brand of the diaper.
It depends on the brand, right? I use Huggies. So, or you can just look into the diaper, see how heavy the poop or the pee is, and
Mm.
then see if the diaper can last into the next feed before changing, right? Don't be too anxious to go and change the diaper every time she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. Yeah, lessons not learned in blood, or in this case, money, right? Not lessons that learned at all. So yeah. Ah,
But that's hilarious, and that's a good learning experience because yeah, you will feel the pain every time you change one piece of diaper.
yeah. I mean, I try not to think about the cost, right? Because it's a necessity. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just amazed by how many times she needs to pass motion, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and you know, gas is a thing. So if you don't burp and even if you do burp the baby well,
Yeah.
uh, it's inevitable that some of the gas makes it into the digestive system, right? So she starts to
Yeah.
pass gas a lot, more frequent
Mm-hmm.
passing of gas. So yeah, they start to poop more as time passes. Yep.
Pretty
So
hilarious.
yeah, do you recall any fail moments you encountered?
Yeah, I do have couple, but if you want me to think back 4 years ago, that's probably very challenging, very vague. But a more recent one, I could easily think, being a dad of a toddler and a young kid, 2 and 4 years old. Sometimes you are so bound to go through routine. So every morning I will prepare milk for both of them, right? When I wake up at about 6 or even 6:30 in the morning. Uh so that is, I mean, being a dad or being a mom, you're always tired, right? But that is usually the one that the mind don't process early in the mornings.
Yep.
Mom usually wake up, they are pretty easy to get to the day. But I don't know,
Yes,
just me being dad is like I need some me time to process things
I
and
I actually noticed that. So what? Sorry to interrupt you, but my wife actually
yeah.
told me this is that in the mornings and at night, your energy is very low. It seems like the stuff that I asked you to do is a bit slow, a bit hesitant, that kind of thing. But that is it's not
Guilty
that.
as charged.
So it's not that we are unwilling to do it. It's just that I don't know. For me, it takes time for me to wind up.
Yeah.
From the morning, when you just wake up, I'm like, give me some time, then I will wind up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But for my wife, she wakes up and 100%. Like
Bam.
how?
No idea beats me. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you talk about this, right? That one of the hilarious story. I mean, this is not a dad
Mm,
fail, but this is a husband fail. So my my wife told me to hey, let's call for the aircon servicing. Our air condition has not been serviced by
Mm.
the aircon technician for almost half a year. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure. 2 weeks later, she asked me, have you arranged for the aircon servicing?
Oh,
I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, let me do it. 1 week later, she asked me the third time.
oh,
I was like, oh my gosh, okay, let me get to my phone right now. It's like, oh, there's no slot, let me, and sometimes I was like, okay, there's no slot today, let me check it out tomorrow, but the tomorrow never happens. And then the fourth time she got so pissed, it's like, do it immediately. And because we used to go to this aircon technician and he's always fully booked. So I think I booked his slot early in May. The earliest slot he has is 3 weeks later. And if right now you go to his website, right, probably you will see the earliest slot is 3 weeks later. And if your AC has issues, you gotta wait 3 weeks if you want his service. If not, you gotta find some people. And I mean, I tried this guy for one time and I pretty like him. He's quite famous in TikTok. He's a local Singaporean that has gone viral in TikTok giving aircon advice. So some people, if they hear this, they roughly know who am I referring to. So that's my husband Phil. But back to dad Phil's. So we'll talk about early morning. My brain isn't processing, right? And sometimes these areas behind is where I prepare all the milk and stuff. Sometimes in the morning, I because it's so routine, I would just have 2 tins of milk. And bear in mind, let me show you what I mean. Hang on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not promoting any milk brands today. So these are the 2 brands that my kids drink. So if I don't look at the numbers 3 and 4, I wouldn't know who drinks what
oh
in the
no!
morning. My
You
wife probably
didn't.
don't. Okay, so after this episode release, I think I need to sleep on the couch. My wife is gonna find this out.
Oh
So
no!
typically my youngest child, second child will drink the one on top. We stack it this way. Three. Oh, sorry. See, now I will stack it wrongly. 3 is for 1 to 3 years old. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 to 3 years old. And step 4 is for 3 years to 6 years old. So this is how we stack it. So that I know every time when I want to prepare the milk, the top is for my youngest, the bottom is for my older child. So that morning, I prepared, I put into the bottle, and hang on a second again. Talking about early morning, where you can't even differentiate these milk tins, right? They are so similar over here. Let's talk about the 2 milk bottles for my 2 sons.
Oh, it's exactly the same.
I mean, there are the names here. Their names are here, right? So I can differentiate. But dads, early in the morning, the mind couldn't process, and I couldn't recall which bottle I poured, which milk I poured to. And I was like, the name is right, but it's like, did I put the step 3 or step 4? Beats me, but I suspect I put I put step 3 because my youngest child drink more than my older child. So
Yep.
I probably think that I have put the youngest one into my older child milk bottle, and my youngest child is drinking the older step 4 because when I see the ml, it's like, oh, it's lesser. I mean, that being that, you will just say, all right, let me prepare a fresh one, clean.
Yes. Please tell me you did
my
that.
my mind isn't processing, so I just proceed. I think I did the right one. Let's feed them.
Oh no!
So I mean, at their age, it's fine, but if it's a baby, of course, that's something you need to be more cautious about. Feeding the right milk. So
Yep.
I'm going to delay releasing this episode so that my wife will see it so soon.
Well,
Yeah.
next week you better prepare the couch.
I'm not sure. Maybe I need to go over to your house and say, can you prepare a bed for me? I can sleep with I can sleep with a daughter if the sofa is comfortable enough.
You can watch my baby.
You forgot I'm the confinement daddy.
Don't worry, my house only has one milk bottle and one milk powder for you to fill.
You only have one milk bottle. I thought usually
One
you
type,
prepare like
one type.
three or one
Yeah,
type
so
of bottle.
yeah, one type of bottle. So I mean, we have the storage bottles for the express milk,
Mm-hmm.
and different kind of bottle for the formula milk. So
Mm,
that's how we
yeah.
tell the difference.
So I think these are really valuable lesson learned from this kind of fields, right? So subsequently, it makes me to be more intentional in checking. So nowadays, when I
Mhm.
wake up, preparing the milk right behind where I'm sitting right now, right? What I typically do is I make sure that and I get the
Mm.
names correct. I put at the water dispenser. I fill up to the uh, right amount of ounce and milliliters that I want. Then I take the right one and scoop. And I see the names correct. I'll put one side. So that's what I do every morning now. I make sure I check. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, over time you will develop a system, and then sometimes when you're so low on energy, you're tired, you stick to the
Yeah.
system. You don't really think about it. So yeah.
But guess what? Sticking to the system, it happens the second time that I put the wrong milk powder into the wrong bottle. But the second time
Yeah.
I did change the milk because I realized and I saw that I'm doing it wrongly. The first time I told you, right, I wasn't aware. I'm not even sure have I put in the wrong powder. I just assume I did the right thing. But back in my mind, I know I did.
Yes, please change it from now on.
Yeah. So I mean, for your case, is there any like important lessons then? I think patience is very important, like what
Mm,
you say. Yeah. Sometimes
patient.
we want to rush to do things, right? Especially dads, because for me personally, I'm not sure about you. For me personally,
Yes.
if I was in your situation, the bowel issues, poop, you know, diapers, soy, I would want to change because that means that I check one thing off my list. I
Yep.
will not
Yep.
have to do it. I don't need to wait. So that's me being me. I would potentially react to that as well and do it. But sometimes being patient, you can accumulate and make just change once. But because we are so impatient, it makes us like change. And then saw it second time, and you
Yep.
change, third time came. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I kind of agree with what you said because guys,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to see different things as problems to solve. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so if let's say baby does a poop, right? Okay, the problem is the poop. The diaper is dirty, gotta change, right? We want to do it as soon as possible, solve that particular thing,
Mm-hmm.
so that we free up our mental capacity for something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's in the middle of the night, you're tired, you want to go back to sleep. Hear baby cry, you want to feed the baby, make sure the baby is fed, baby goes to sleep, then you can go back to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think as guys, we see it as okay, step one, step two, step three, step four. We need to finish it, then we can rest or something like this. So in the middle of night, when baby cries, you try to feed, then suddenly baby doesn't want to drink. You
Mm-hmm.
know, ayo, what's the problem now? Then it throws a wrench into things. So then you start to get a bit, why is it not flowing smoothly, that kind of thing. So and your energy is really so low, right? So
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from when you said that. The thing is, this is a human being, right? There is no fixed solution to solving
Mm.
the problem called your child, right? It's not a problem lah, right? It's
It's a
problem.
learning journey. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
learning
it's
journey.
a it's a learning process. So if you feed the baby doesn't want to drink. Maybe there's something on. You need to start thinking. Okay, could it be gas?
Yeah.
Could she be like
Yeah.
trying to poop, like trying to the squeezing motion, right? Because
Mm.
when they squeeze, they don't really swallow very well, right? Everything comes out, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's why they are not feeding well. Yeah, I think these are things that I slowly started to pick up. But at the
Mm-hmm.
start, it's like, oh, feeding time, have to feed. She's not drinking properly. Is she full already? Or then put her back to sleep. That kind of thing. Then you
Yep.
find out, oh, actually that's not the right thing to do. So yeah, as guys, we just tend to want to on the spot solve it, go back to sleep. But yeah, that's not the right approach. Like, it takes a while for us to change mentally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm curious. What kind of routine are you currently using for your baby? You know, previously
Mm,
I think I've shared quite a fair bit about this thing called easy routine. Is
mm,
there something that you are trying, or is there any like other methods that you are
mm.
actually trying out?
So for us, we are feeding the baby on demand, right? So yeah, we
The
will.
baby is always on demand for feed.
Yes. So we look out for hunger cues, right? She likes to click
Mm,
her lips, right? You know, like this kind of motion when she's
yeah.
hungry, and then shortly after she'll go out all out crying. So
Mm,
if you can catch that before she cries, then that's great. You can feed her, and then she'll go back to sleep peacefully. But if you don't, then you have to deal with all the gas lah. Because when you cry and you drink milk, you swallow a lot of gas.
yeah.
And burp her even more. So the routine is like you mentioned, 3 hour brackets, right? Slots.
Yep.
So that is provided she feeds properly.
Mm,
So we have I don't know if you call it a routine, a system, or I
mm-hmm,
think it's more ad hoc. But
mm-hmm.
how we do it is we work around her feeds. So feed on demand, right? Every three
Yep.
hours, she'll ask for the bottle. Then we'll just feed her. If she finishes her bottle, great. Then at least we know for the next 2.5 to 3 hours, she'll be quite calm.
Mm.
Uh, then you start
Does
branching
she
out.
sleep immediately after drinking?
So she will drink if it's a good feed. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
the caveat is if it's a good feed. So she will drink and fall asleep. Right, she will start to close her
Oh.
eyes, but she will still suckle. Right, she will still drink,
Mm.
but her eyes will be closed. That's when you know, okay, by the time I end the feed, and if I burp her, she will go to sleep
Oh.
soundly.
And
Right,
that will
so
be 3 hours later, another feed.
yes, that is the ideal situation. More
Mm.
often than not, it's not the case. So the most common situation right now, so 2 weeks ago, that was the case. Right now,
Yeah.
she will cry, right? So
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
more, no more hunger cues. Very rarely will she give hunger cues anymore. She will sleep. She will wake up, and in 3 seconds, she will let out a cry. And it is
Mm.
the screeching top of the voice kind of cry.
Yeah.
Everybody
I want my
panics.
milk. I want my
Yeah,
milk.
it's like, okay, okay, I got this. I need to go and prepare the milk. Right? She's still crying, by the way. And then you try to feed her, then she stop crying, right? But she's still like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she starts to suckle and drink the milk, and then she starts to swallow air. Okay, then about halfway through the bottle, maybe 30-40 ml, she will stop and push the bottle out because a lot of air and swallow, right? Then
Mm.
you have to burp her, right? After burping her, one or two things might happen. She'll continue feeding, or she'll go
Mm-hmm.
to sleep.
Ooh.
So so yeah, if she goes to sleep, she will reject the bottle no matter how you try,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
She has developed, I don't know, some kind of skill to push the bottle out with the tongue.
Mm.
So yeah, no choice. Let her go to sleep, and then if that happens, 1 hour later you have to feed her again, and hopefully you
Oh.
can feed her the rest of the bottle. Then that will give you another 2 hours. Yeah, so
So,
that
so,
has
so
been
there's
the
actually very
cycle now.
little awake time for your baby.
Yes. So no, not really. So that was the
Mhm.
situation where she sleeps. There is the other
Okay.
situation where you feed her 50 ml. She burps.
Uh-huh.
She stays awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
doesn't drink anymore, but she is wide awake. She's
Mm.
The longest we have had her wide awake for was like 4 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
Yes. So I mean, she is not like awake and quiet all the time. She's awake for like half an hour, calmly looking around. She'll cry,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
most likely because she didn't complete her feed, right? So you have to feed her again. And then, but she will not go to sleep. She
Mm-hmm.
will stay awake again for another half an hour, then cry, and then you have to feed her again. So basically, one feed that was supposed to last her 3 hours is now broken up into 3 hourly feeds. And
Yeah.
only after you complete that cycle, by the time her next feed comes, you have to feed her the full bottle before she goes back to sleep. And usually that during that time she sleeps like 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, but you sacrifice the first 3 hours in order for the 4 hours to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah. The
But
we
how's the
mm,
night routine looks like for her?
so at night she's not too bad. She sticks to that 3 hour. Feed her one time, goes back to sleep. Sometimes feed her one
Mm.
time 4 hours, then the next feed. Nighttime not so has been quite peaceful actually at night.
Yeah, that's really good. I
So
think she's learning to read nighttime as
yeah,
being night already.
plus it's dimmer, less light.
Yeah.
In the day we try to make it a bit noisier. So play music, open the balcony, make some noise. She sleeps through that, but at least she knows, that she's used to it, right?
Mm.
So yeah, ah,
It's pretty solid.
she's
Yeah.
developed her own personality. So
Yeah.
I just recall one more fail. I mean, I think this can be the last fail to end off this. So
Come share with us.
so for newborns, I think for parents, the lesson is to never put your newborn on a freshly changed mattress, right? The linens, when you just
Hmm.
change the linen, never put your fresh newborn on the bed, right?
Why?
So what happened to me was one day I was feeding my daughter, and my wife is still recovering, right? So I
Hmm.
was thinking, okay, why not bring her into the room and let her spend some time with my wife.
Mm.
Right. So that's what I did. Then my wife carried her for a little bit, and then she,
Mm.
started, I think, struggling or what. So I said, okay, if she's struggling, she can be quite strong, right? And my wife is recovering. Okay, let's not aggravate her. I took over. So she started crying. So I knew, okay, it's about time to feed her, right?
Yep.
So because I was just feeding her, then I share with you, right? She was stop her feet halfway, and then you burp her and all this kind of thing. So it's time to continue her feet. I put her down on my mattress. So
Hmm.
my wife's bed sheets were new, right? We just changed it like a couple of days before. I went out to get the bottle. My wife is still in the room. I went out to get the bottle, came back. She was, because when you put a baby down, her head is usually on the right.
Yeah.
She did a short squeeze, uh,
Okay. Oh.
everything out. I was like, it's like day one, the night one all over again. Nothing
Yeah.
underneath my
You mean you
mattress.
change? You mean you change the linen after that?
I mean I have two, right? It's her
Oh.
puke.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's no absorbent mat. There's I mean I did
Yeah.
not expect her to regurgitate all her milk. Uh
Gu-
yeah, I
Guess
had
guess what we did last time?
what do you mean? What the same thing happened to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, these are common common mistakes or common puking situations that baby will go through.
You
Yeah,
replace the
but
mattress.
no. Try another guess.
Huh? You just slept over it? No
Close enough.
way. Come on.
I mean, what we did is we get a wet tissues, clean up Febreze. We have Febreze right back then. So Febreze,
No.
clean off, smell. Not too bad. Let's go to sleep.
Ah, I mean, oh no. Clearly, the both of us has very different cleanliness standards.
You'll get past that, CK.
I mean, I thought I was the dirty one between me and my wife, but no, after talking to you,
What? I use a wet tissue to clean. It's clean.
yeah, but it soaks through the linen onto the mattress.
No, no.
No way. You go and check. You go and check. I think there's going to
you,
be a
you,
spot down there.
have you ever heard about the 3-second rules?
It doesn't work that way. Bro, it doesn't work that
Yeah,
way.
it's something
It's
similar.
not,
So
it's not like you drop your
sometimes
baby and you lift it up.
No, no, no. So sometimes the cereal, the cereal drop into our floor in the kitchen, and my kid is eating, right?
Bro, I think your
Um,
reputation just hit the.
I have not finished my story.
There's no need to finish it. 3 second rule,
Because
cereal, floor, and that's it.
my kitchen floor, I think it's safe. If it's the floor outside, yeah. But usually I'll tell them, pick it up and throw it to the, rubbish bin. But
On
sometimes
your
I see them
mouth.
pick it up and put it to the mouth. I was like, oh yeah,
Ah.
that's my son.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Both of my kids are son, right? So you got to train them for future when they go to national service. And food is a necessity. It's something that you ration. You got to go out into the forest, and this ration pack. Some of this is gonna drop into the soil, the grass. I mean, ask yourself, CK, will you still eat it? You will, right? Because you are famished, you're
Ration.
tired. Yeah, I mean, I dropped my fruit bar back then onto the floor, and I pick it up and just, oh yeah, get some
Do you
water,
at least
clean.
sit?
I mean, I survived my national service. Yeah,
Ah,
so
okay.
yeah, so
Well,
CK, do you have any advice for today's episode for our listeners?
yes. So newborns, they are learning journey, right? Don't need to be too impatient, dealing with whatever you face. I mentioned the diaper changes, dinners, all this. You will experience everything. Everything will get dirty. So all this can be washed, all this can be clean. It's all part of the experience. Just enjoy the journey.
Yeah. So, I mean, as usual, the advice is not to give you this advice to tell you that this is the right way. It's really our own journey that we have learned, and we just want to share as a learning journey so that everyone can learn from it. And I mean, what I just shared about the 3 second rules, please ignore it. Be a good parent. Throw it away and be a good husband if the linens on your bed is being soiled with puke or
Please change
poo
it.
or pee. Yeah, please change it. Yeah, don't be like CK. Be like CK. Don't be like me.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing I want to say is, one day all these experiences will be good ones, and you will laugh at
Yeah.
it when you look back.
Yes, definitely. So once again, thank you everyone for listening to episode 5 of our podcast, where we have gear up with better equipments, better
Yep.
platforms to
Bring you a
hopefully
better experience.
give people a better experience. So do help us to subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, like and share, leave reviews for us, and stay tuned for more because I think we have more exciting episodes coming right ahead. I think I've shared with CK we have some exciting folks who will be coming to join us and share some interesting stories. And I can't wait to speak with this group of individuals because I think a lot of their journey and experience resonate with us.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, stay awesome,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone. All right.
Bye.
TGIF.